What if the greatest enemy you'll ever face isn't someone out there? It's someone inside your head, the one you never question, the one that tells you what to believe, and the one that tells you what you're capable of. This voice isn't even yours. You've been tricked and controlled in ways you can't even imagine. I'll show you what this mental prison is and how you can escape from it. Years ago, Julius Caesar warned of a hidden enemy, the one that's closest to you, the one inside your own mind. You might think your biggest adversary is a competitor, a market challenge, or even your own schedule, but Caesar knew better. The real enemy is the voice in your head that you've never questioned because it feels like you. This voice has been controlling you much longer than you realize. It's the voice of society, of marketing, of family expectations, and even of your own subconscious beliefs. The mind control we're talking about isn't the kind you see in the movies. It's the kind that manipulates you subtly, makes you believe these thoughts are truly your own. I mean, think about it. How often do you check social media and find yourself agreeing to things that don't even align with your values? The greatest trick that your mind ever played on you was convincing you that the voice that you hear is actually your own. Around the age of 2, something profound happens. A child looks himself in the mirror and thinks, "That's me." This moment is the birth of the ego, the I that helps us navigate the world. But this I is shaped by everything around us. In fact, it's often built by the labels and the praises that are poured into us by our adults in our lives. But as we grow, these early moments of self-recognition get flooded with language. We're told who we are, what we're good at, and what we're supposed to become. And from then on, we carry that identity, often without ever questioning where it came from. In today's world, this mirror stage continues in the form of modern mirrors. I'm talking about the Instagram selfies, the Zoom calls, and the constant self-surveillance that we engage daily. The child who first saw themselves in the mirror now spends hours critiquing that reflection, all influenced by voices and opinions of others. So, how do we break free from this mirror? One way to start is by questioning the labels that have been given to you and separating your true self from the reflections others see in you. I'll dive deeper into this in a moment. For now, let's take this a step further and talk about words. We use words to communicate, but they're also a trap for us. This is where we can learn from Pavlov, the famous Russian psychologist. He distinguished between 2 types of signal systems. The first is the raw sensory experience of the world. This is what we see, what we hear, what we taste, what we feel, but humans have something animals don't, a second signal system. This is where language comes in. We don't just experience the world, we label it, we categorize it, we interpret it. Now, the second signal system is powerful. It gives you the ability to think abstractly, to reason, and to create, but it also distances you from reality. You can get lost in the thoughts and the words that are only symbols of the world, not the actual world itself. And as a result, you begin to live in your own head more than you live in your own life. In fact, a study by Harvard researchers found that we spend almost 47% of our time not focused what's in front of us, but lost in thought, whether it's dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. So how do we break free from this endless cycle of thinking and labeling? One simple practice can help you regain your focus and presence. I'll guide you through that in just a bit. This mental autopilot mode is called the default mode network, and it's where your mind drifts into daydreams, anxieties, and even regrets. The worst part, you don't even realize you're doing it. Think about it. How often do you find yourself zoning out during a conversation, or checking your phone while you're in the middle of a meal, or worse yet, during a moment of connection? In today's fast-paced world, this mind wandering isn't just harmless, it's stealing time and joy and clarity from your life. But you can reclaim that time, and with it, your presence. The next idea is a bit unsettling, and it's crucial to understand. I'm addressing the most insidious part of the whole mental game, the voices in your head. And I'm not talking about the literal ones. I'm talking about the internal scripts that you live by, those beliefs, judgments, and criticisms that often feel like your own, but aren't. Who taught you to think that way? Who planted those seeds of ideas in your head? Are they even your thoughts? The truth is, the voices in your head are often not even your own. They're internalized voices from people in your life like parents or teachers, the media, or society at large. Foucault described this perfectly when he talked about internalized authority. We take everything from our environment and we make it our own. And over time, it becomes so embedded in our subconscious that we can't tell where we end and these voices begin. Think about it. How often do you hear yourself saying, I'm not good enough, or I'll never succeed, or I'm not smart enough? Those beliefs might have come from a teacher in elementary school, or a parent who didn't know how to express love, or society pushing its impossible ideals on you. Yet you wear them like they're your own truths. So now that you've identified the players, it's time to figure out how to get some peace. The trick is, we don't need to eliminate the noise completely. That would literally be impossible. What we need to do is learn how to notice the noise without being consumed by it. Zen Buddhists call this no mind, the state where you observe your thoughts without judgment, attachment, and you let them come and go like the clouds in the sky. When you quiet your mind, you stop identifying with every thought. You realize that not every fleeting idea or worry is you. It's just mental chatter. And the more you practice this, the less you hold on to it and the less power it has over you. I'm not saying this is easy. It's an ongoing practice. But if you want to live a life of clarity and purpose, you need to train your mind to turn down the volume. Mindfulness exercises, meditation, internal observations, these are all ways that you can start this process. And the best part, you can just start today with a small one, a small moment of awareness. You can start the journey towards silence and peace and true presence. Now, escaping the grip of mental noise, breaking free from the ego's control, and reclaiming your true self. It all feels impossible, especially if you have to do it alone. I've helped hundreds of people break free from distraction, self-doubt, and limiting beliefs to take full control of their lives. Whether your goal is to build a business, create financial freedom, spend more time with your family, or simply become the master of your own mind, I can help make that happen. If you're ready to take the step out of the mental prison and into a life of clarity, confidence, and purpose, then let's talk. Tap the link on the screen or in the description below.